Right now. Great night of fights. Great night of boxing tonight. Bar M, you did your thing tonight. Top rank at ESPN. Great fights. Now, one thing that was kind of bad about the fights tonight is that they started kind of late. What I mean by starting kind of late is that the fights, Lomachenko fight was like a pay-per-view fight. They didn't actually fight until like 11 o'clock at night. But I stayed up, even though I'm a little tired. I stayed up because I'm a boxing fan, former two-time world champion, so I got to watch the big fight, and especially the fight that's on ESPN, hashtag free TV. Lomachenko versus Lopez. Lomachenko versus Lopez. Lopez wants all the smoke. That's right. Teofimo wants all the smoke. And I did a video talking about how he wanted all the smoke, how he called out Devin Haney, how he called out Gervonta Davis. Teofimo wants all the smoke. And he shocked the world. So you have to kind of put him, I think you put him on the top 10, the top 10 pound for pound list, because Lomachenko was considered, if not the pound for pound king, second behind Terrence Crawford. So with Teofimo Lopez beating Vasily Lomachenko, I mean, come on, man. You got to put him in at least top 10. At least a top 10. And with him having all four belts at the age of 23, let me rewind that. All four belts at the age of 23, that boy is on fire. And he has now surpassed all the other fighters at 130, 135. Yes, he surpassed all of them. So now he's the king of the division. So now those guys have to come and see him. I would like to see a fight between him and a winner between Gervonta Davis and Santa Cruz. That would be a good fight. Or a fight between him, Devin Haney. Because I believe Devin Haney is going to beat Gamboa. So it's just so many possibilities. Sky's the limit for this young man. And like I say, I called him Throwback Fighter of the Year in the first place. While all the other guys were talking, he was actually backing it up. When he fought against Richard Kami, he stopped Richard Kami. He knocked Richard Kami out. And I thought that was a 60-40 fight in favor of Richard Kami, because I saw what Richard Kami did to a lot of his opponents. But Teofimo Lopez fought him, took his strap, and his very next fight, he was calling everybody out. I'm talking about Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, and you can tell when a person is serious. He wasn't just talking just to be talking. You know what I mean? You got some fighters in that division are barking just to be barking, but they ain't really biting. But this young man is actually biting. He's biting. And so he get the K9 award. That's right. He get the K9 award. And right now, he's a fighter of the year. Going into what, 2021? It's only, we in October now? We're 2 months away. I don't know no fight that's going to be to surpass this fight or his performance. I mean, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson is coming up, but I bet that the odds or all the bet makers are favoring Mike Tyson because he's the bigger fighter. But in this fight, you know, they had Lomachenko in Vegas as the favorite to win the fight. But as it got closer, the betting odds started swinging towards Lopez. But if I was a judge, I probably would call it a draw, just for the simple fact that Lomachenko did come on later on. So I'll say he probably won 5 or 6 rounds, but he is the champ, and you have to take it from the champ. And in the beginning, Teofimo was taking it to the champ, but he faded in the later rounds. And I think that last round he pulled it off. He actually hurt. He actually hurt Lomachenko. He had the more meaningful power punches. He was a stronger guy. And when you're the older fighter, I know about being an older fighter. When I was, getting ready for some of my fights, and in my later on in my career, I was the older fighter. Everybody and their cousin was calling me out. And at the same time, I didn't have a promoter, so I was promoting myself. So if the fight was close and I fought against any of those young guys, guess what? They was gonna get a fight to the young guys. That's how come when I fought Corey Spinks in St. Louis, I went and took the title because if it went to a decision, they would have gave it to him. When I went and fought against Carlos Molina, I made sure that the fight was on TV. So if they tried to rob me, that the fans would know who really won. But I still dominated him as an older fighter. So when you're an older fighter, you have to actually win in spectacular fashion. Lomachenko tried to come on at the end, but it was too little, too late. Especially like I say, when you're in there with a guy who's young, a guy that wants all the smoke, and a guy that you could promote. See, Bob Arum in the business, he can promote Teofimo 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now. Lomachenko days are starting to get numbered because he had about 1,000 amateur fights. So would it be in a close decision? Or would it be once I heard the decision, I had betted my son because I actually thought Lomachenko was gonna pull it out. I already started doing my push-ups. We bet for push-ups. I did my 20 push-ups right away because I already knew when I heard that wide decision, it couldn't have been for Lomachenko. I knew it was for Teofimo Lopez. So hats go off to Teofimo. I look forward to seeing what he's gonna do. He's the king of the division, and I love at the end of fights when young fighters, especially young fighters, when fighters, period, thank God. And they asked him, so what you gonna do? This and that and this. Average young fighter, can he just say, oh man, I'm about to go to the club? But he said, I would like to thank God. That's right. You must thank God. Yes, thank God, because the reason why you want to fight is because of God. Big time. Yes, so, oh yeah, so I hear you say, so Charlie, you said Lomo was fighting dirty with headbutts. I mean, it's a fight. You got we ain't gonna sit there and just be buddies. When it's a fight, it's a fight. A lot of people love to see the UFC. You know why? Because UFC is a fight. Now, even though we are supposed to just throw punches because it's a boxing match, man, you gonna do whatever you can do or whatever you gotta do to win a fight. So if you got a headbutt to win a fight, so be it. I mean, I never fought dirty like that. And I don't think Lomachenko fought dirty on purpose. He's a southpaw. When southpaws fight against orthodox fighters, a lot of times headbutts happen. And I saw that was going to happen in a later round. Matter of fact, the last round, I told my wife, watch. I said, I hope this fight don't end up with someone getting cut because they fought so good. I just didn't want no one to end up after the fight, having to go get stitches after a good performance. So I figured it would be a headbutt. I can't say Lomachenko went down in flames. Lomachenko did real good. If he had fought a fight before this fight, he probably would have fought a lot better. I just think that he was a smaller guy. He was a little older. Other guy was hungrier, and the better man for tonight won a fight. But I don't think he went down in flames because he didn't get knocked out. I mean, he still looked good at 30-some years old. I mean, he looked real good. He just got beat by the better fighter tonight. Hey Earl, I don't know, man. That wasn't. Listen, he won a fight. I can't say that it was just he dominated the fight. He won a fight. What, Earl? He won a fight. What, 7 rounds to 5? The judges were way off. I'm talking about way, way, way off. Yeah, he didn't win. He didn't win that many rounds. They only gave Lomachenko like 3 rounds. Man, he won at least 4. He won at least 5 rounds. At least 5 rounds. The later half of the fight, he was winning rounds. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So yeah, man. But it was a great fight to me. I mean, UFC fighters would have saw the fight. They probably been like, oh man, this, because they wanted to see guys kicking each other, slamming each other, busting each other up, elbow each other, just seeing blood. I like to see skills. And when you watch boxing, you watching skills. When you saw this fight tonight, the fight between Lomo and Lopez, it was skills. You had to be patient. I was patient. I started seeing what was going on. I figured that, man, it was one punch away from somebody getting hurt real bad. You saw skills tonight. And skills pay the bills. I like skills. I don't like all that old wrestling and this and that and two guys on top of each other with panties on. That stuff don't look right to me. UFC, and then you in a ring. I mean, a lot of people like UFC. Hey, I ain't knocking it, but it just ain't for me. Two guys in the ring with no shoes on and all that blood, feet all up in the blood, head all up in the blood. I mean, I like skills. Boxing is the sweet science. Oh, what up, though? NBA King. What's up, Brody? You all right? Yeah, man. Hey, I hope you watched the fights tonight. Lomo still did good, man, but I think his best days are behind him because they gonna make it harder for him. I mean, I think maybe if he could get the rematch, I don't know if it was a rematch clause or not, but if he can get the rematch, I think he'll do better in a rematch. I think he learned a lot from this fight. And when you get older, you have to stay active. Trust me, I wasn't active a lot in my career as I got older, and it came back to haunt me. And the same thing happened to Lomo. I think his inactivity and being older and with inactivity has something to do with his loss tonight, along with Lopez. Yeah, but it was a great fight, man. It was a great fight. I ordered the fight at the very last minute because I had got rid of cable. I said, man, forget some cable. Every time you look up, I'm paying $200 after I done paid $200. I mean, so I said, forget some cable. But then, I told my wife, man, go ahead and get cable back because we got to watch this fight. I didn't feel like going nowhere to go watch the fight, so I actually ordered the fight just so I could see it, so I could see it with my own eyes, and I could, tell you how I felt about the fight. And hey, I felt it was a good fight. I felt it was a good fight. I felt Lomo should have started a lot earlier, but Lopez was a lot stronger than him. He was a lot sharper than him, and Vasily Lomachenko, he starts slow. He's a slow starter. He's an older fighter, and you got to respect the power. And Lopez has power. So after about the fifth round, fourth, fifth, sixth round, Lomachenko started doing his thing. But it was a little too late. The judges were watching. I think they were watching Lopez more than they was watching Lomachenko and what he was doing. See, sometimes the judges favor the guy that's aggressive. Some judges don't favor the boxer, the guy that moves around, pity pats and all that. You got to know what kind of judges you have. So whoever put the judges in place, they were putting the judges in place for the person who was the puncher for tonight. See, if it would have been judges that like the sweet science, the boxing, you know what I mean, then they probably would have favored Lomachenko. I thought at the end, to be honest with you, I thought they was gonna call it a draw because it's a whole lot of money in a rematch. It's a whole lot of money for Bar Arum if he actually have him to call it a draw, or if it's actually a draw, because now Lomachenko can still be cash cow, still get a big fight, and then Lopez, he can actually get a big fight because he'll still be undefeated, and he gave Lomachenko a draw. So I thought it was gonna be called a draw. It could have been a draw, but if it was someone that won that fight, I definitely believe that it was Lopez. I think he pulled it out at the end, especially when he hurt Lomachenko. And I don't think I never saw Lomachenko get hurt like that. I mean, I saw him get dropped, but it was like a flash knockdown. But Lopez hurt him. Yes, he hurt him seriously. But hey, I take my hat off to Lomachenko though, because he still showed heart. Even though he was hurt, he tried to play it off. He tried to do what he could, but I just think that he wasn't strong enough. The better man won tonight. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch, but will it happen? I doubt it. I want to see what Lopez is going to do next. Teofimo Lopez, the fighter of the night, the fighter of the year, the throwback fighter of the year, the K9 boxing fighter of the year. And like I said, I can't wait to see what's next for him. And I can't wait to see what Lomachenko going to do next either. I can't wait to see is he going to retire? What are he going to do? I mean, who's out there? Everybody going to be calling for him now if he decides to keep on. They're going to try to use him as a stepping stone to a world championship now. Because that's what they do to you. When you become an older fighter, they try to pick on you. I say picking on you, bullying on you. They want to fight you. Everybody want to fight you now because they can say they beat Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? And if you could beat Lomachenko, then guess what? You can fight for a title. So, I mean, I would probably, if I can't get the rematch, maybe I'll fight another fight to go out with a win. But I think it's about that time to call it a day. At K9 Boxing. Yeah, the takeover is coming. I told you. Everybody going in. K9, I told you. Right. Right on, K9. The judge's decision really should have been a draw. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Ruth, it should have been a draw, bro. It should have been a draw. I think it should have been a draw. Yeah. What you think about the scorecard? The scorecard was crazy. I mean, I believe the right person won, but it should have been a lot closer. It should have been. He should have won. Lopez Teofimo should have won probably by 1 point, 1 or 2 points. But the right person won. Yes, it's definitely a Earl. It definitely was on the right platform. It was on ESPN, and ESPN showed more sports than any other network. It was definitely on the right platform, and I hope it was 300 million people watched the fight tonight because it was a good fight. And normally fights like that be on pay per view. You normally have to go in your pocket and spend $75. And so I don't want to say thank God that we in this COVID time. You know what I'm saying? But hey, something good came out of it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. The sport wanted to start marketing the personality of Lopez. This was a boxer fan's dream. Skill and patience got to give Lopez credit for starting off as a boxer. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The better man won. Trust me. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Hey, Lomo's still a beast, man. Y'all gotta take your head off the Lomo, man. He got in there with a young lion and he fought his butt off. He came on at the end. He took chances. It almost cost him. But he fought good. He fought good. Hey, you win some, you lose some. At the end of the day, hey man, he did what he had to do. I mean, I think that this pandemic that we in now, it kind of hurt him because he hasn't been active. And when you older and you don't fight for a year or something, it can really hurt you, especially when you're in there with someone that's younger. You know what I mean? Your bones ain't the same, your energy ain't the same, and your timing ain't the same as when you were younger. See, if he was younger, then he could get away with that. But when you 32 years old and you fought at the lower weight classes, that's very important to stay active. As you get older, you 30 something and you in the lower weight classes, you slow down much faster than you do a heavyweight or a junior middleweight or a middleweight. Me myself at 41 years old, I was still fast because I was a junior middleweight. I wasn't 120 pounds, 116 pounds. When your speed leave, something like Roy Jones, game over. Of course, Lomo fights dirty because he don't want to lose. Yeah. Well, the commentators, you can't listen to what the commentators say all the time. You got to remember, some of these commentators are getting paid to work for a certain person. Like Tim Bradley is getting paid to work for ESPN, but who gave him the job first? It was Bar Arum. So whoever the fighter is that's favored, to win, that's up under the umbrella of ESPN and Bar Arum and top rank, you're going to favor that person. You know what I'm saying? Because if you get the blazing a person and they got you the job, then your job can be on the line. T.O. came in with excellent condition. He got a little reckless at the end, but he definitely outboxed Lomo in the beginning. And the last round, I see an epic rematch coming. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it being a rematch, but that's the only thing that I believe that can actually really help Lomachenko to get back in a position where he was at if they have a rematch. Because if he don't fight him in a rematch and beat him in a rematch, his career probably is over with because he's 32 years old. He need that rematch bad. He need that rematch. Hopefully, in some unification bouts and some bouts, you can sign a paper that it's an automatic rematch. So hopefully, Bar M helps him get a rematch. He can get a rematch. And I think if he get a rematch, I think he'll do well. I think he'll actually beat Lopez in a rematch. But if I was Lopez and I don't have to have a rematch, I would move on. Move on to fight somebody better. Move on. Well, yeah, fight somebody better that has a better name that's young like you and fight on pay-per-view. Now you can go ahead and fight pay-per-view because now you done proved yourself. ESPN is a great network to showcase your skills, and at least 1 point some million saw the fight, if not way more. So now people know who Lopez is. You know why? Because a lot of people knew who Lomachenko was. So just like how Floyd fought against Oscar De La Hoya, and people knew who Floyd was because he fought Oscar De La Hoya, because Oscar De La Hoya got a country behind him. Guess what? Canelo did the same thing. People knew who Floyd was, so Canelo fought Floyd. And even though he lost, they know who he is because guess what? He fought Floyd. Just as well as the people that know Lomachenko or the people that know Canelo, they know who Floyd is. So Now people know, the ones that don't know, that's not boxing fans, they know who Lopez is now. That's right. Teofimo Lopez has arrived, y'all. For real. Yeah, yeah, he might be Ruth. He might be a natural junior welterweight. He might be a natural welterweight. He definitely was way bigger and way stronger than Lomachenko tonight. You think Gary Russell Jr. will call Lomo for that rematch now? Oh, you know what? That'd be smart if he did that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that would be smart. But I mean, I doubt it. He probably wouldn't call Gary Russell off for the rematch now, because now he can be able to say, "Oh man, why should I fight him? He just lost to somebody I know I beat." So I don't think that fight would never happen. Besides the rematch, what would be the best opponents for each fighter to take on next? I think that the best fighter for Lomachenko to take on now would be the winner between Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis. And I think for Lomachenko, the best fight for him to take on right now would be a rematch. He should be trying to get a rematch. He should, learn how to speak English and say, "I was robbed," or "that was a close fight, it was a draw." He should be trying to fight. He should be either, if he's not going to try to fight Lopez in a rematch, to Fimo in a rematch, he should try to fight Manny Pacquiao. He should say, "I want Manny Pacquiao." You know what I'm saying? That's what he should do. Don't shoot for the stars. You know what I'm saying? Don't go backwards, because he still fought a good fight. Even though he came up short, he could say, "Hey, I feel like I won. I want to. Hey, if I can't get a rematch with Tefimo, I want to fight Manny Pacquiao." You know what I'm saying? Or he just say, "I want to fight Floyd. I want to fight Floyd." You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do. Now he got to speak up. Now he was laid back and quiet, but now he need to voice his opinion for sure. Absolutely. But yeah, we just chopping it up tonight, man. Hey, boxing came on two networks tonight too. I don't know if y'all know, but boxing was on the Zone tonight too, and I saw a little bit of the fight on the Zone. But I was more tuned and couldn't wait for the fight to come on ESPN, because like I say, I ordered the fight, man. I ordered the fight. I had to see it, man. I wanted to see it. I stayed up. I'm still up, and I appreciate you guys for staying up with me tonight too. Yes, I appreciate you for staying up with me. I meant to get on a little bit earlier, but I had to do push-ups because the guy who I thought was gonna win the fight didn't win the fight, so I had to do some push-ups. But I think it was a draw. I think it was a draw. But since Tefimo is a lot younger, and he's more sellable right now than Lomachenko, I think Lomachenko gave the fight away by not starting off fast early, and that hurt him big time. If he could have won some of those rounds early on, he could have won the fight tonight. But he gave too many rounds away early. And after the other guy was putting that pressure on him and hitting him, the judges, they was watching Teofimo. They was like, "Man, hey, this guy's taking it." They probably couldn't believe it. Like, "I can't believe he taking it to this young guy." They were very impressed. I was impressed too. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Wow, this guy's way stronger than Lomachenko." Like, Lomachenko was running from him. I was like, "Wow," But I take my head off to both fighters. Both fighters deserve credit. And in this day and era, the best don't fight the best. Just think about it. When we wanted to see Manny Pacquiao and Floyd fight 10, 20 years ago, they fought 10, 20 years ago, 10, 20 years now. And they made the most money they could have made, so it was smart business, but we didn't see the great fight, the best fight, the best in their prime, like Tommy Hearns fought Sugar Ray Leonard, which I still say to this day is the best fight I ever saw of all time. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns won. The greatest fight I ever saw. We talking about two guys in their prime. And today we saw Teofimo Lopez in his prime. Lomachenko not quite in his prime, but still pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world, if not the best fighter in the world. So it made sense, and it made for a great fight. And hey, I'm not trying to compare it to Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, because like I say, that was the best fight I ever saw. But this was a great fight in the pandemic that we in right now, with wintertime coming close, with people being in the house, and with it being on ESPN. I'm just happy. I'm excited. I can't wait till Gervonta Davis fight Santa Cruz to see who's going to fight who next after that fight. I can't wait to see Mike Tyson fight Roy Jones. And I can't wait to get in the ring November 7th. So make sure y'all get y'all popcorn. Because somebody going night-night, and it ain't me. At K9 Boxing. No, I never see that Archie Moore fight. Darrell. No, I didn't. Yep. I appreciate you guys, man, for hanging in with me. Good night. Thank you for subscribing. Like this video, share this video, and I'll see y'all in the AM or the PM at K9 Boxing.